刺激でイメージだらけの頼りない翼でもきっと飛べるさ Oh my
Hello everyone, and welcome to a special episode, I believe it's 20, of Lost in Translationmon. I'm May.
And if we're wrong, it'll be really funny. And also, I'm Jay.
And we watched Digimon Adventure Tri Chapter 4, Loss.
Is this Loss?
Is this Loss?
Yes.
Is this Lost.jpg?
The answer is yes.
Yes, that is indeed what we're covering. So first of all, we'll just go through this. We won't talk about the overall synopsis, but we're just going to say, if you have not seen Chapter 4 yet, do not listen. We're not, telling you whether or not you should watch it, which you should, by the way. If you have seen the other previous parts and have enjoyed Tri, do watch Tri Chapter 4. But this will be a spoiler cast.
Oh, absolutely.
We're not
telling you to buy these t-shirts, but buy them right now.
Is that a wrestling thing that no one's going to get, Jay?
No, it's just you said we're not going to tell you to watch it, but watch it.
No, it's not going to be a thing where we sort of weigh up, should you watch it, which you should. It's a full spoiler thing, and we'll be talking to the microphone as if everyone listening has seen the show. So, yeah, and at the end we will be talking about Chapter 5 and what we know about the poster so far.
Alright, well, if you haven't seen it, get out of here, and we'll see you when you have listened to it.
Yeah. And I guess on to the show then. So first up, we're going to be talking about our surprises when we watch this. We'll jump straight into surprises, be it pleasant or negative.
So we have to talk about the very first thing that happened in the episode was their silent movie of the original Chosen Children and May's complete and total freakout that she had apparently called it since, I think, the last episode of this show? Or maybe 2 episodes ago.
I think I mentioned that Maki and Daigo were the original Chosen.
Right.
And after watching Chapter 3, I wrote up a big long post saying there are 4 holy beasts, and we know that there are only 4 holy beasts, not including the one that combined of the 4.
Sure.
And we know that in the novel, the original children's Digimon became the holy beasts.
Okay.
Right? So we also know there were 5 original Chosen.
Yeah.
So I was like, alright, okay, so either they're just ignoring the fact that they showed 5 original children in Digimon Adventure, or one of them didn't. One of them didn't.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's Maki, and that's why she's so salty and angry and is working with Geni.
And you called it pretty much exactly, which is cool. It really does feel like they're grabbing all of the various things they wrote about Adventure, and we're like, okay, we got to jam these together and make them make sense. Let's go.
And I think they did that really well.
Yeah.
And that first scene, the way it was sort of like a silent movie, because they were showing it happened a long time ago, was beautiful.
Yeah, in the 30s. How long ago was it?
Well, I think it's 15 years ago.
Yeah, that's when they had silent movies in the 80s.
Yep, definitely. Well, 15 years before 2000, so it's 1990, I think, probably. It's
I'm
probably
sorry, did you say 15 years before 2000?
in 2005.
Oh, exactly 1990.
Because this is set in 2005, so let's say it's 15 years. So it's 19...
How old do you think Maki is?
I say she's 30.
So it'd be more than 15 years.
Be more than 30. It's maybe she's 20 to 30.
It's the 80s.
But yeah, I think it's 80s to... at the possible thing, it's the 90s at the very late, the latest. And I was screaming for the first
It did happen.
because I was so excited.
Uncomfortable.
I mean, I did, in my original post, I also did say that the reboot had happened before, which is not
wrong.
the case. Maki wanted it to happen.
Well, no, the whole reboot thing was a plan she had.
Yeah.
To get her Tapiramon back.
Yes. Which, so I realised this when I was writing up my notes just after we watched it. So, Geni says that Digimon who die in the real world are dead. They're not reborn as Digitama.
Yeah, but they are if you reboot everything.
Yes. But why do we need a reboot if Bakumon died in the digital world? So I think that fight took place in the real world.
Did it look like it was in the real world?
No, I thought it was a digital world until I thought about what he said, and he said, well, Digimon die and they're reborn as Digi-Egg unless they're born, that they die in the real world and then they don't come back. And that's why, but a reboot will bring them back.
We've seen other stuff that they would have died.
No, but I'm just saying, Bakumon must have died in the real world for that statement to be true. And I think that the writers of Tri have put enough thought into things, and I trust them enough that they're not going to just let that slide.
Wouldn't he have just become a ghost? They can become ghosts.
Oh, we're just going to ignore Wizardmon.
We're still totally ignoring Zero Two, except for the fact that they recognize someone who looks like Ken.
Yeah.
They're totally ignoring it.
Yeah, for the most part, they've mentioned Ichijoji. They haven't really said Miyako or Davis or Iori.
Yeah, and the blurb of the show mentions the ending of Zero Two.
Yes, but that's also Crunchyroll, so it might not be... Oh, I think originally when they first started showing information about Tri, they said that the epilogue was canon and it would show things leading up towards the epilogue, and we've already seen that with Taichi, wanting to travel, and Daigo sort of says, oh, so you like to travel, maybe that's what you can be when you grow up. And Mimi is an interesting chef now.
Oh, God.
Which, by the way...
That was funny.
Cute little callback to her epilogue. Can it be a callback if it's an epilogue? Call forward?
No, it's a callback to something you were shown once.
Yeah.
But it's also foreshadowing.
Yeah, and it's sweet.
No, not all of it's sweet. Some of it was beans.
Oh. Yeah, it's what Sora cooked, but I also put jelly beans and whipped cream on it.
I'm a chef now. Very proud.
I like that that's how her mum cooked.
Her mum cooks by letting the dad cook a real meal and then ruining it.
Yeah. No, that's so sweet. And I really liked that. Like, it was a small moment, but it was cute. Another surprise was the fact that homeostasis took hold of Maki in the same way that homeostasis has taken Hikari. So clearly homeostasis likes girls with short hair.
Also, Maki's design when she's younger looks a lot like Hikari did.
Yeah, because I remember, and we can talk about this now because we didn't really want to talk about in DigiNews in the main show because it's pretty ultra spoilery, is that one of the straps, like the next set of Digimon Tri straps, has Maki as like a child with Tapiamon.
Yeah, bit of a spoils.
And I freaked out when I saw that because I was like, I was right. And I showed you and like, why is Hikari with Tapiamon?
Yeah, I just didn't care. Yeah, homeostasis has a big sort of thing going on. They're allied with Hackmon, who's not an app.
Yeah.
And that's not entirely clear. But Hackmon's totally a good guy. Confirmed. Alphamon still hasn't shown back up in this one. It's random. This whole thing going on in the background that's totally unclear. They've only got 2 episodes, or 2 movies, left to explain all of that. Let's see. Genai has said, I'm not the Genai you know, so he could be one of the clones, or he could be... He's already shown that he can wear one disguise. This could just be another disguise. Or it's Genai, it is the Genai you know, but he's been mind-controlled and he's evil as a result of that.
I think it's corrupted Genai. I think it's like one of his clones, but it's like a corrupted version of his clones.
But they'd be able to get in contact with the normal one.
They said that he's uncontactable, which was like the first bit like, hey, maybe...
Also, why don't they talk to like, I don't know, what all the other ones' name? Wasn't one of them called Boomerang?
No, it was Eucalyptus.
Yeah,
Jeez, Jay. Gosh, you're so silly. Boomerang? It's clearly something sensible like Eucalyptus.
Yeah, shouldn't they just get in contact with one of the other 100 Genais? What happened to them?
I have no idea.
They've been doing such a decent job of like, okay, we're pulling in the novels, we're pulling in all this weird stuff. You think that Mimi showed up in front of Shogun Gekumon's palace because...
She did? Because she said, why am I here?
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that you thought that she did that.
Oh, yeah.
That's full stop. I mean, you're saying you thought she did that because... They retconned in this universe the novel thing where Lilymon showed up there instead of later at the Big Red Soul.
Yeah. So so I paused the show when we were watching, and I said to Jay, "Hey, so what if we're just completely retconning the anime, and we're going to get a flashback from Mimi of when Palmon first evolved to her perfect stage, and it's going to be fighting Shogun Gekomon instead of because that happened in the novels. Like the novels fixed a lot of things that were considered problems, and they gave a whole lot of context. Like they mentioned homeostasis. They mentioned that the original children, 4 of them, became the Holy Beasts. And yeah, so I'm pretty hype about the novels at the moment. I'm trying to read them at the moment. The prologue has them sealing the Dark Masters in it.
Huh? Who does that?
The Holy Beasts.
Okay.
So it's actually the first thing you read in the night novel.
Right. Confusing.
Yep.
Okay, sure. And that's I think those are the big things that showed up in this one.
Yeah. Also, Daigo had a load of Leomon, which I found funny because I'm like, he's dead and he's Leomon.
He's not though.
Yeah. He comes back as. Oh, I was so hyped when Orochimon became Ebonmon.
That was the first
I
thing
popped because I was like saying, oh, maybe they're not saying that they're the Holy Beasts. But I'm still right about, the original Chosen, right? And then all of a sudden, they evolve, and I start screaming.
Yeah, again, it was uncomfortable, honestly.
Specifically because Maki has a Megadramon. What if she has an Airdramon? What if Airdramon evolved to Megadramon?
It's okay. It ended up dying.
Hey, that's very
It did.
nice.
Totally died.
Yeah, oh no, it totally died. It kind of just got in the way of a huge blast, and it also protected Maki and Daigo from being attacked.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
So that's the big stuff out of this one. There's a lot of questions, a lot of like what's going on, a lot of did 02 even happen?
Yeah.
We did not get to confirm or deny whether or not Hurricane Touchdown was real.
Yeah, because the only person who had a reaction to Serafimon was Koshiro, and
He wasn't there.
he sort of was. He was in Cherubimon.
He was a child.
Being
though.
a child, being reverted. We don't know what happened to their memory.
He didn't see Seraphimon though, did he?
We don't know if he saw Serafimon or not.
Okay.
So there was no, like, telling reaction. Not even Takeru had a reaction.
Yeah.
So...
Which is weird. He should.
Yeah, he didn't say, oh, so that's what Patamon's ultimate looked like, which I thought he was going to say. But he didn't also say, oh, look, it's Serafimon again.
Yeah.
It was not telling in either direction, which is kind of annoying, but it kind of surprised me. Do we have any more surprises?
No, that's it.
Because the best part was the first, like, bit. That got me so hyped.
Yeah, and honestly, that might have been the best part of the movie. Because the movie's good. I'm not going to deny that. There's a lot of great stuff in it, but it has just enough problems that I'm like, oh, I don't really like how they went about this.
And that brings us to our next segment, highlights.
I liked them all hanging out with the babies and, like, reintroducing themselves. Mm. And Tai's like, yeah, Koromon, you like takoyaki and you like yakiniku and all these other things. And Koromon's like, yaki what?
And
I have no idea what that is.
This is fantastic because we were just last night talking about Frontier, about how the kids are all accepting of what happens in the digital world and the Digimon don't question anything that isn't a concept in the digital world, which is annoying. But in Tri, we're saying, what's that? What's an infection? Is that something I can eat?
Like, I would be not surprised if in Frontier you had a bad guy being like, I wish I could go to Paris. And you're like, how do you know what Paris is? That's insane. In this one, the Digimon don't know basic things because they're babies, and that's great.
Yeah, and they also wouldn't know Japanese food because they're in the digital world, so they have their own food, which is like things from trees.
It's that thing I can eat and that thing I can eat.
Yeah, and fishes, I guess. But not marching fishes, which look different from normal fish.
They do. I liked how they interacted with all their various kids. Some of them got less than others. Like, what's his name? Oh god, the blob that turns into Tentomon.
Multimon.
Yeah, Multimon got almost nothing.
Oh, excuse you. That adorable part where he's saying, oh, that was nice, what's that? And Koshiro explains oolong tea.
Yeah, but that's not a Multimon bit. That's just Izzy being weird.
But Multimon's looking at him saying, I understand that you really are excited about explaining this to me.
That was funny.
Because Multimon's like, I'm not really sure what's going on.
I understand that you love it.
I understand that you like it, but he isn't understanding anything that Koshiro is saying.
I will continue to drink it. No, I think it's Izzy continues to try and explain it, and Multimon gets in the way. I will drink more now, if that's okay.
And then Tokamon says that he doesn't want to eat TK's food, I think. Was that Tokamon?
Yeah, he wants to eat Koshiro's food because it looks nice.
And Multimon says, I love that you're explaining this, but if you don't stop, your food's going to get eaten. And Koshiro's still talking because that's just something that happens.
Koromon's got noodles in his mouth. And he's like, I love these long slippery things. They're the best.
And he's running towards Taichi, and Taichi's like looks terrified.
He's like, eat with your mouth closed. Jeez.
Yeah, the first part I think was. Like, the first part of Chapter 4, I think was the best. Oh,
I do agree. And I'll go into why, because the second part's fine. We find a lot of stuff, but, like, it falls on itself. It has like, undermining issues.
It does have problems, but we have a negative segment, so we'll get to that in our negative segment.
But otherwise, it was just a lot of fun.
Oh, it was so much fun. And I'm not saying that the other segment, like, the other parts were bad. Just the first part was just so
The
happy.
Frontier 10s.
Yeah, but the thing is, if you really think about it, if you were to, like, explain the synopsis, you wouldn't probably spend that much talking about what actually happened in the first part, because not much really happens.
Yeah,
they talk.
They hang out, and they try to be friends again, and some of them are wary of it, and other ones aren't. I like how, Kari...
On Yaramon, that was beautiful.
Yaramon instantly likes her because she smells like the whistle that she had,
yeah.
Which is weird. How does she still have it?
And she says, it's a calming smell.
Yeah, but also... Kari acknowledges maybe the Digimon are better off this way, specifically because she's calling Plotmon at that time, but Plotmon never got beaten up by Vandermon, so that history of trauma doesn't exist anymore.
Like, remember when, in Adventure, when Talmon removed her glove and she has this huge scar on her paw?
She wouldn't have those anymore.
She doesn't have that scar anymore. She hasn't been abused. She hasn't had this emotional damage. And I think that means that she's going to start de-evolving back to Plotmon instead of Tailmon.
Could be.
Because the reason she was always Tailmon is because she'd undergone so much hardships. She could just...
Also, she was a lot older, I think.
Oh, yes. No, that they're basically newborn at this point.
Yeah, they all are. That's why they can evolve to Mega immediately.
So, yeah, Tailmon was kind of just... They were on the Digital World for years, probably. And, yeah, no, she doesn't have that damage. And I love how Hikari notices that. She says... She hasn't had that hardship. She's happier this way.
Go on, Tailmon, what's your damage? And she just takes off her glove.
Yeah, she says, I was a victim of abuse.
Look at the damage. And you're like, oh, fair enough.
And I think Plotmon's really cute. Just
Very
these cute little parts where she's basically just a little puppy.
Small dog.
And she's a tired little puppy, and she just sort of, like, flops onto Kari's lap, and Kari pats her.
Yeah, it's good.
She's such a good dog. And that was really sweet to me. And they all have their kind of interactions. Like, Gabumon doesn't know whether or not he should call Yamato Yamato.
He doesn't get, like... the names and the honorifics. Yeah. It's weird that the Digimon even know what honorifics are to begin with.
I think it's because they know Japanese. They know the Japanese language.
But, yeah, he's like, oh, Yamato. He's like, no, I think the line is, where's my kun?
Yeah, Taichi is just called Taichi by Gabumon. And Gabumon's like, what? Like, Taichi's like, why Gabumon? You keep on saying, can I call Yamato just by his first name without a kun? But you don't give me a kun. Where's my kun? That's an adorable thing. It's so cute.
And then, I mean, like, the main story of the episode, I guess, is Sora and Piyamon, and you know what? It's kind of boring.
I like how it's a switch dynamic too in the first bit of adventure. How Piyomon's grabbing her lips saying Sora.
No, it is that, but it's still like it's not entertaining. Like it's you have that moment, you go, oh, it's different, yeah, and then it keeps going, and you're like, oh god, okay.
It was a bit sad when Piyamon sort of was warming to Mako more than she was to Sora. But I think that's because Piyamon is obviously younger now, and she's similar to Sora when Sora was young. And Sora was very introverted and didn't, like, she was, kind of withdrawn and didn't want people cuddling up to her, and she would like them on her own terms.
Yeah, could be. I don't know. And Mekumon is just confusing, as always, in this whole episode.
Okay, I have a negative, but I'll talk about negatives.
Sorry, I'm just beginning.
I'll hold it in. See, there aren't many negatives, but the negatives that are there, they're just kind of like annoying little things. Another scene I liked is at the end of the first episode, they evolve to their child forms.
Yeah, they go back down.
Yeah, because they go back up. What? Because they're in training to child.
Okay.
The end of the first part.
Sure.
Yeah. So they just ate a lot and they sleep and then they have all evolved.
Oh, you mean the first part, right?
Yeah. So in the beginning of the second part, they all like react to being evolved, and Patamon's flying and says, "Oh, I'm called Patamon now. I'm called Patamon." Is so cute.
They didn't know their own names. They meant to yell their own names when they evolve. Yeah. But apparently they evolved when they were asleep, so I guess they didn't do that.
Yeah, they didn't have the Digimon Analyzer. They didn't spin around in circles. And
they probably spun around in circles.
The cutest part of this scene was Patamon saying, "Am I pretty? Am I pretty now?"
Yeah, Mimi's like, "You're really pretty."
It's so cute. I love Palmon. I love Mimi. I love them both. They're beautiful. And I
thought Machine Dramon being really scary was done really well. They set him up, like, just his roars, like, knocking down trees and stuff. And he looked really cool.
Beautifully animated.
Yeah, they did a great job with that.
He looked... Because in the original, like, in Adventure, he just kind of looked the same as every other character. He didn't have, like, that detail.
Yeah, and I think he never was really set apart from the Dark Masters. What he's meant to be is he's meant to be, like, a walking artillery platform.
Yes.
And you really got that in this one.
Yes.
You never used to really... You used to just be, like, the machine guy.
Yeah.
And now he's got an identity. He never says anything, obviously, but...
I like it, how they don't say anything. And Metal Digimon doesn't either.
Feels a bit lazy, but...
I think there's a reason for it.
I think so too, actually.
I think they might... Either... Because they evolved very quickly if they were rebooted.
Well, it implies they were always like this.
I feel like they've evolved.
I also think it's weird that Piedmon never said anything in the silent movie, because he seems like a talky kind of guy. Yeah.
And another part that I liked was I always really like when the children are paired up with Digimon that aren't their own.
Yeah, that was great.
Because it allows for different dynamics.
Like, because Tentomon hadn't been around Izzy so much, and Mimi's calling out for Palmon, and Tentomon's calling out for multiple people, but he keeps, every second person he's calling out for Izzy now, and then he just stops and thinks to himself, why am I keep calling out for this guy?
Yeah.
And Mimi has to be like, because you're best friends! You're best friends!
It's so cute. And Gubumon's kind of saying quietly, blushing, Yamato! Yamato!
He blushes through his, like, pelt thing. That makes no sense.
Yeah,
Is he
I guess
nuclear?
he blushes so much it goes through his pelt, okay?
He blushes so much it brings the dead skin back to life.
Yes. He blushes super hard. Any memorable parts? Because the main memorable part was the beginning and the
When
whole...
Genai licked Sora's face.
Yeah, that wasn't a memorable part. That was like a part that I want to remove from my brain. That
That's very
that
memorable.
was so creepy.
That's great. That was
And when he kind of like attacks Mako as well, like on the ship.
Oh yeah, when he's like killing her.
Because
yeah.
that's the most violent someone's been to a child, except for
It's up there.
Puppetmon.
Except for shooting at them, yeah.
Yeah, except for Puppetmon, but like this
But
is
he never
physical
actually
violence.
did any damage, yeah. He
This
was
is
just
like
threatening.
physical, actual violence.
She
like,
might be dead.
yeah,
She's probably not, though.
yeah, she's probably not. But Sora kind of got groped and licked in the face. That was creepy. That was like, this is kind of a little bit nightmare fuel.
A little bit. It's fine, though. It's not the Genai you know.
Yeah, it's just...
It's the Genai you want.
And it was never really addressed. Like, Sora doesn't show any, like, damage from being licked and jumped on by a very scary man. And also pinned by a cat, sort of, in the way.
Yeah. Mekumon was, I guess, like shackles, but fuzzy, and also not clamped on anything. Just being kind of inconvenient. Looked a bit weird the whole time. Also, she was unconscious for some reason. We forgot to mention Joe charging at Genai and like knocking her down.
that
really
was
awesome.
memorable. That was good.
And then, God, the kids having him totally trapped and just leaving him there while they celebrate, and not doing anything about it, and not getting a brick and just beating him to death.
Yeah, like just get a brick, or just like attack him more, set him on fire.
Brick this man.
I mean, I feel like he's not human, so I feel like he wouldn't go down that easy.
Joe can tackle him down. I don't know.
Another bit that I liked was I really liked how they were like, okay, we can't evolve. Let's use strategy and tactics.
Yeah, and I liked how Izzy like came up with something in like 30 seconds. It was great.
Yeah, because he's really
a smart.
and he's kind of always been that sort of role where he's the thinking one.
And he has a computer there to do planning, so of course they're gonna win.
Also, back to Joe. Was Joe kind of like strangely super cool?
Somewhat. I like
He
that.
caught the falling girl.
That takes a lot.
That takes a lot of strength. Like, Joe, how much do you lift, buddy?
That's why he's never there. He's not studying. That's why he sucks at school.
He's just sitting
actually
there lifting. He's lifting the whole time. He's like, one day there's going to be a girl falling from the sky, and I'm going to catch her, and then I'll say that she's my girlfriend.
Yeah, but I already have a girlfriend, even though no one believes me.
Yeah, which I still like, and I'd like to actually see what his girlfriend's like. I still think it's Glass's girl from Revenge of Diaboromon.
What? Oh, okay.
The girl with the bike that they stole.
I don't remember.
That was a good movie.
Sure.
Any other memorable moments?
I think we've covered the big ones.
What about touching moments? Because I think we've already mentioned the moments
We've
I found
covered
touching.
that.
Which is basically like the first part. Alright, I really like the
I
first
know,
part.
you're just never gonna shut up, are you? About this, I mean.
No, never. I'm never gonna shut up. That first part is so good. Who are your favourite characters?
Agumon.
Agumon's always great. Agumon and Koromon are always
He's
great.
a big man. And he's the best.
I
It's
like
fun.
that he's always hungry, and
so hungry.
he was going down the stream.
I thought that was like an evil thing had happened, and like the Digimon had all been like lobbed down the stream while they were sleeping. No, it was just a funny little thing where Agumon's on a log, and then they pick him up, and that's it. I was almost thought that what they would do is, because he's got Agumon there and Sora runs off, then only Matt can go after her because he's too busy, and that's kind of why they end up together. Just because of this twist of fate where Agumon was dream fishing.
Because there weren't actually that much, like, particularly shippy moments between the three of them.
No, it was clear they wanted it to happen, and she's totally removed from both of them.
What I really liked is neither of them were trying to push it when they knew that she was not happy. Like,
Well,
they were concerned about her, but neither of them tried to hit on her when she was
None of them
sad.
could figure it out. They couldn't figure out, oh yeah, she's the only one without a Digimon. Maybe she's unhappy.
Yeah, they were kind of stupid, but maybe it's not as obvious to them as it is to the viewers of what's happening.
It would be like when Langley escaped. If I was like, what's wrong?
Yeah, but
Are
that's...
you okay?
I feel like it's because it
You
was...
can talk to me. What happened? Oh, Langley's gone, but well, why would that make you upset?
to be fair,
I wouldn't understand.
I don't think Sora actually states, oh, Piyomon doesn't like me. So it may just be a thing
Piemon's not there with all the other ones. They can see her interactions.
Maybe they're too preoccupied with their own...
It could be, but they never make a point of that. I don't like when, like, you have to do... To make characters' actions make sense, you have to read into it deeply on stuff that they haven't given you.
Also, while we're on the topic of characters, is it just me or does Yamato not really have that much of a character?
His character is...
Because, yeah, he just spends a lot of the time just, like, staring off into space, being grumpy, and going, huh.
He's trying to come up with new band names.
Yeah, he's like, knife on the edge of the digital world?
Digital knife.
Knife of meatball?
Dude.
Meatball on the edge of the world?
What's
I don't
meatball
know.
from?
Meatball, because Sora's meatballs.
Yeah, I know, but he's not... He's just incorporating whatever he's looking
Yeah,
at.
he just, knife on the machine Digimon?
Dude.
A metal Seedra knife?
Machine Digimon of day!
That's good. Machine Digimon of night?
Machine Demon.
Knife of night?
No.
Knife night?
Knife night, we are all in this together.
No, but I really like that idea that he's just like, that's why he looks like so angry and into the distance. He's actually thinking of new band names. That's beautiful.
He's trying
Thank
to be
you.
edgy.
Yeah, he's like, okay, how to be edgy. Step 1, hair flick. Huh. Step 2, glare. Step 3, frown.
Big frown.
Step 4, don't talk at all. Because I feel like Yamato did not have a lot of lines in this.
No, I don't think he did either. It's okay, he doesn't need them.
Yeah, it's not, I mean, it wasn't
There's
focused
a
on them.
lot of characters.
There are a lot of characters, and they're not spending more time on Yamato than the other characters, which is fine. I just feel like, compared to the other characters, he didn't really... Gabumon has more of a personality than he does in this.
He always has.
I mean, I feel like I used to really like Yamato when I was a kid and watching
It's
Adventure.
because you're lame.
I thought he was cool.
You're lame and you fell for the edge.
Yeah, knife of edge. But yeah, so favourite characters. My favourite human is always Mimi. I was in cosplay as Mimi when I was watching this, so maybe
like
that was why.
Giant dork. Unbelievable.
And I love the moment when Mimi's picking up Tanemon and Tanemon's saying, "Don't eat me!" And she keeps on saying that. It's so cute.
And then she's like, I'm not gonna eat you. She's like, okay, somewhere else. Don't eat me!
I really like Mimi.
My favourite human was Maki. Get wrecked.
Yeah.
I'm creative.
Oh, no,
When
actually,
she
I don't
walks-
like her, because when she walks into the Tapimon,
That's-
she strangles
that's
the
why I like
Tapimon. What,
Not
she's...
not because she was strangling, because she was interesting. She had the most stuff going on this episode.
Oh yeah, no, she definitely did, and I
We
did
didn't
enjoy
talk
that.
about it at all.
Yeah,
When you find out her whole plan the whole time was to reboot the digital world to make Tapimon come back, and she somehow finds him again, and it doesn't recognize her, because she hasn't seen the other ones not recognizing their kids, so she obviously never put any thought into it.
She knew that would happen, because when she was proposing the idea to the Digimon in the last part, she was saying, "You won't remember them." So she knows.
Then it's weird that she had this reaction, that she's like immediately violent, like, how do you not know me?
Yeah, that was a bit strange. But I didn't like that scene because, like, she was so violent towards her Digimon.
But it was interesting.
I mean, it was interesting because we've never seen someone explicitly be violent to their partner, except for in this part, and...
I'm sorry, Ken.
Oh, okay, sorry,
You
I forgot.
nerd.
Yeah, I forgot Ken, but he was kind of, like, not really Ken.
He was Ken.
He was in the Dark Spore.
He was still a partner, though.
Yeah.
A Darkspawn he never got rid of.
Yeah.
It's still there.
That's why it was possible.
Wherever he is.
That's why when we first thought that Ken was behind this all again, it was kind of like, okay, well, we never saw the Dark Spore be removed.
Yeah.
And when we thought it was Jedi, we saw that he had a Dark Spore. So either this is like a flake of his skin that had the Dark Spore and became a new Jedi or
That's
something.
dumb.
I have no idea. Her favourite Digimon, I'm going to say Koromon.
Yep.
Because adorable, and you already said that.
Big adorbs.
How do you think the characters have, evolved themselves and changed from 0-2? Do you think it's in a good way?
Obviously, yeah. You can see they're all significantly more mature.
Yeah, except for Yamato, who can't tell the difference, really.
Yeah, he's largely the same. I think he doesn't get quite as angry as quickly.
Yeah,
He still does,
He's got a longer fuse, but at the end of the day, he just sort of
He's still
stands
a bomb.
there. And I'm really liking Mimi,
Yeah,
as
I know.
always. I always love Taichi. But he seems more thoughtful than he originally was, and gradually, as we've always seen Taichi grow, he becomes even more thoughtful.
Yeah, he's growing up. He has to be a UN ambassador, dude.
To the digital world.
Well, he has to be an ambassador to the UN for the digital
Yeah,
world.
which I think that... Well, as a kid, I was like, why?
And now you're like, oh, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and Tri actually showed that to me in the first part, and that's what the first chapter, was good for. It said, oh, he wants to travel, and because he travelled to the digital world,
Didn't Joe
obviously.
become a digi-doctor?
Yeah, so he didn't actually become a real doctor.
Well, he could have.
He became the digital world's first doctor.
So he's a vet.
Also, we just got
Or he's a programmer.
Jay, we just got a tweet from Buggy.
Yeah.
And so that's the Ladybug Man.
Yeah.
And they say, hey, more walking through the desert. It's exactly what Jay was missing from Tri.
Yeah, that was a bit of it. Not a lot. No, it wasn't all of them.
It was enough that it was a callback, and that was fine. What about character interactions, be it between human and human or human and Digimon?
We've talked about them. They're good.
They are really good.
I understand that you love this, but you have to eat now or it'll be gone.
Yeah. I really, really liked when Mimi and Tentomon were sort of like sanctioned off together.
Oh, no, I know the best one.
What?
The best one was when they're showing the photos to Agumon and
Gomamon.
And Gomamon, and they're like, that's me! Oh, look at that!
And Yamato's just saying, what, why?
He was like mad. He's like, I'm not in any of these photos.
Yeah. He was like, I get uncomfortable when we're not about me.
That was good.
That was
because
good.
that's such a good idea. Show them photos. Like, be like, oh, no, we do know you already. These things happened.
Honestly, I'm surprised that Sora didn't do that. Like, start showing Biyomon photos, but I guess, like, it wouldn't have worked anyway.
Yeah.
But back to what I was saying, Mimi and Tentomon I always like as a human and a Digimon that don't really match that well, because we've previously seen them in Digimon Adventure rather early on separated. And the fact that, because Mimi's quite like an emotional being, and, you know, Tentomon's like, why am I so worried? Why do I feel like this way about Koshiro? Why is he so worried about me?
My logic senses do not understand these feelings.
And Mimi's saying, like, oh, because, you know, you're partners and you're best friends and you love each other and it's great.
What does partuna mean?
I really liked how they're all questioning what a partner means, because maybe they wouldn't know.
What is a partuna?
Partner. I also liked when Palmon was drawing Mimi on the wall.
That was weird. That was fun, though.
Who gave her the texter? Where'd the text come from?
Jigglypuff.
She is Jigglypuff. Palmon is now Jigglypuff. Jigglymon.
Yeah. They can have objects, like, Narumon has the whistle. Did she keep it? Is Plotmon still wearing it?
I don't think so. I'd like to think that Hikari got it back from her.
But was she wearing it?
No.
Where did it go?
I don't want them to lose it. It's a very important moment, considering we didn't see it through all of 02.
That whistle's the longest running thing in all of Digimon.
I'm surprised we didn't see Mimi's hat.
Yeah, we didn't. That's weird.
Considering they released a doll collection and Palmon came with a plush Mimi's hat.
Yeah, it is really strange that she lost that.
Because those were the two things that, you know, when they were saying goodbye, Kari said, here, have my whistle, Tailmon. And Tailmon put the whistle on.
Wasn't that from the end of Adventure, though?
Yes. So it was ignored in 02.
But don't they see them in 02?
Yes.
Maybe we got her hat back.
We never saw her with a hat. We saw her with a similar hat in her summer uniform, in a summer outfit.
Was Sora's hat a helmet or a hat?
I'm still confused. It changes. She can bong it for the Bakemon lose your power, but like when it's in it, like
it also folds.
With their clothes, it folds.
It's amazing.
Oh, that's the real mystery of Digimon.
What a bad show.
Hey, you were so hyped.
What a bad show.
You were so hyped for it.
Not like you.
Oh, not like me, but I feel like a few people like are as hype as I was for Tri. I was pretty hype. I mean, I knew like, oh, we still have to cover it, which is like, honestly, it's still sort of work. But like, I enjoyed watching it. It was, as I said, I cosplay as Mimi. And as I mentioned earlier, back to character interactions, I really liked Poyokumon and Sora having that switch sort of dynamic as what they had in Digimon Adventure.
Right.
Which was, originally it was, you know, Sora being introverted and Piyomon clinging to her leg, and now it's kind of like the opposite. She's not as clingy as Piyomon was, but at the same time, this part was kind of annoying to me, because it was kind of like, okay, you've already done this now.
Yeah.
Can we have like Sora trying to convince Piyomon at all?
It went for 80 minutes when it should have gone for 25.
Or at least, like, Sora should have shown her photos or tried another tactic to, you know, win Piyomon over, instead of just saying, but Piyomon, you're my partner, but we'll have more meatballs.
Well, like, I think that the switch should have been more gradual, because I don't know if you noticed, but really, Piyomon was, like, went from 0% to 10% to 15 to 100.
Yeah, no, it was very much like that. There was like sort of a moment where she seemed warmer just before they found Mako.
It was no, sort of, but like on the boat, it went from I don't like you to okay, no, we're friends now forever.
You mean like when they first, like in the campsite? Because in the boat, that's when they're first starting to warm to each other.
No, on the boat, it was literally like, let go of me, I don't want this, to I want to have more meatballs, we should be friends.
No, she said, well.
It was immediate and sudden.
At that point, it was like, let go of me because I don't want you to be hurt. And it was as of the moment where Piyomon uses the magical fire attack when Mugendramon's attacking them.
That's way before that, though.
Yeah, I know.
I'm talking about the boat.
I know, but I'm just saying, yeah, before that, that's when she sort of started showing that she likes it, but I don't think she wanted them to die.
No, but it was like a full about face from go away, I don't want to be around you, to okay, no, we can be together now.
And I'm not sure how I feel, and I guess we'll talk about now because it's character interaction, so we'll talk about the evolution now. I'm not sure how I feel about how they're all of a sudden able to get to ultimate level.
I don't
and
like it.
Not just one of them, not just the one who had the moment, like
Yeah.
Sora had the moment.
She worked on it.
And I feel like Taichi and Yamato had like a scene. That was okay.
The implication, I think, is that evolution has almost nothing to do with the Digimon.
Yeah.
It has everything to do with the individual.
Yeah, it's the growth of the individual rather than the relationship, maybe.
Yeah. And the relationship will define your on and off switch of opening and closing the valve, but it does not confirm how much power is coming through. That's all the kid.
Yep.
But that's dumb and they should explain it.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I'm trying to work out how much I liked the interaction between Sora and Pyokomon to get them to evolve that quickly. I feel like it was very sudden when it actually happened, when she was kind of like, I want to have your meatballs, and I want to be your partner. Tell me what partner is. You're my partner.
If all it takes is, if the upgrade is only from, what's it called? Garudamon?
Perfect, yeah.
Yeah. If it's just from Garudamon to, Hoemon, if that's the only step you need to take, this is fine.
Yeah.
Which was why all the other ones were fine. But if it's from baby to this, in one day, then it's not fine.
Yeah, no, that was very quick. I feel like
one has to assume it's all based on the kids.
Yeah, and because I always thought that, they had to unlock to get to ultimate stage that quickly. That takes ages of progress. And you're right. If the reboot didn't happen and they were able to evolve to their ultimate levels, I would say that's a fine activation. And maybe they just remove the memories kind of, but they still have their powers. I don't know. I'm on the fence about this. I'm gonna say it was arguably good.
Okay. I think that I didn't like the ending of it. It dragged a bit. But overall, it was fine.
We'll talk about that in negatives, though. I still want to talk...
Are we not doing that right now?
I still want to talk more about the character interactions, because I feel like we had a lot of good character interactions because it was refreshing from start, but the kids knew and the Digimon didn't. And, the bit where Taichi's throwing Koromon up in the air, we never saw him go back down.
And everyone else is like, we want to do that, and they all run towards Taichi, because that's who they saw doing it. Except for Naruman, who's like, Kari, can we do that? And she's like, yeah.
Naruman is adorable, and I never really liked Tailmon as a kid, because I don't like cats as much as I like dogs.
Yeah.
But Naruman acts more like a dog.
More or less.
He's like, oh, can we also, though?
Can we have fun?
Yeah.
Yes, we can fun. Yay, fun!
Yeah, it's so cute, and...
I love fun.
All the baby Digimon are just so charming, and the fact that they have their personalities and they have, that they're so cute, but they're all very different from each other. We're not just saying, okay, they're all, 8 of the same thing.
Yeah.
Even if they look the same, they could have the same personality. No, they actually have personalities, besides being the partner Digimon. And I believe this was another time where I paused the Crunchyroll and the Crunchyrolls and spoke to you, and I said... Isn't this what we're missing in Frontier?
Absolutely. Totally.
That's why we like Bokumon and Nemon so much, because there's you need something to bounce off to have that comedic moments, and...
Well, to have you need to have them talk to somebody who isn't one of the other kids necessarily, to get a grip on what's happening. Because the kids only have their own human perspectives.
Yeah, and... I feel like the overall character interactions were okay. We didn't really see much interaction between the humans, but I bet that's because that's not the focus.
Not a massive amount.
The humans are already friends.
There was that talk that Agumon is talking to Matt, and he's like, "Why don't you like Tai?" He's like, "I don't hate him, but why don't you like him? Because he doesn't get it. He's a child." And he's like, the wording was, "I just expect too much from him," which is interesting.
And that shows that Yamato has grown a bit. He knows that he doesn't actually not like Tai. He just always expects so much from him.
His face just feels so good on my fist.
They didn't actually punch each other in this, and I feel
Not in this episode.
This is the longest they've gone without being explicitly violent to each other.
Amazing. A day. 2 days. They sleep once.
Well done. I'm very, very impressed with Yamato.
I'm really impressed with Yamato.
Yamato.
That's Yamato.
I also always will like people questioning Joe's girlfriend's existence.
I want my girlfriend, and they're like, ah!
Yeah, Joe's being responsible, and he's brought a sleeping bag, by the way. Actually, he's my other favourite character.
Also, and Sora's the same. They've all sort of prepared, like, I remember what we didn't have last time we were in the digital world, so we're going to bring it this time.
Yeah. So Sora bought food, and she says, well, I remember how hungry you guys were when we first went to the digital world, so I brought all this food.
But think about it.
Yeah.
There's 16 mouths to feed.
Yeah.
They're not going to have enough for more than one day.
Well, they pretty much finished all the food in one go.
Yeah, they did.
I think maybe that's because they weren't expecting to find the Digimon
Probably not immediately.
as immediate, but it was pretty convenient. They just heard the whistle and then they saw them.
It's narratively very important, because if it didn't happen and they finished all that food and had to start foraging first,
Yeah.
they probably wouldn't have won over the Digimon nearly as fast.
Yeah.
And more importantly, Piamon would never had the meatballs.
And that's the important part. Also, they might have died.
No, they would forage. They'd fine. They're used to
They might
that.
have died from Mugendramon, if Mugendramon found them first.
Yeah, probably.
Like, Mugendramon could have killed the kids.
Yeah, probably.
Also, can we talk about how Plotmon is OP and must be nerfed?
Oh, we'll talk about that in negatives.
Oh, that's a negative for
Oh,
you?
absolutely.
Oh, I thought that was great.
No, it's a huge
Okay,
negative.
that's a negative? Okay, so we'll talk about that we have a bunch to talk about in negatives.
Some.
There was another character moment I wanted to talk about. It had something to do with
you're
Joe.
done. It's fine, you're done.
Yeah, okay, so all the
That's
characters
enough.
are saying to Joe about how he's just like he was when they first went to the digital world.
Because he's around now.
And Joe says, well, I've grown since then. And Mimi's like, yeah, you have a girlfriend now.
Yeah,
In
sure you
quotation
do.
marks. And I thought that was cute. Any more bits about characters? Because I
I
love
can't
the
think of any.
characters. And do they feel the same characters as in Digimon Adventure? Because I remember after
I think so.
the first chapter of Tri, a lot of people said that the characters don't feel like they remember them.
It's been years. Why would they feel the same?
It's been like 3 years, yeah.
Yeah, I'm different to how I was 3 years ago.
But do you feel like they're... How do you feel about the characters from what they were in Adventure? I know we've compared them to how they were in Zero Two.
I think that's similar enough.
I love the growth of all of them. I love Joe so much.
Yeah.
I love how he punched Jedi. Who is
Well,
this
he
Joe?
tackled him.
This is also Joe has developed from the second chapter of Tri.
Yes.
Because, he was a coward, and he said that he admitted to being a coward, and now he's tackling people.
Well, he's broken out of his, like, weird study cocoon.
I think it's because he's found something to live for other than study.
Yay!
Which is his friends and his Digimon, and that's something that I think shaped him to grow up, because he was 12 in Digimon Adventure, and then, in Zero Two he was just in high school, so he was growing quite a bit, so he was always around Digimon in these formative years, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I love Joe, but I think Mimi's always going to be my favourite. She's best girl.
Maybe.
Who do you think's best girl?
I like Kari.
Yeah, okay, I did not like her.
She's Jesus.
Yeah, I didn't like Kari as a kid when I first watched Digimon, but I really liked these moments with Nyaramon. I thought they were pretty cute. Alright, Jay, you can have fun now. We can talk about the negatives.
So the negatives are, and it's really simple, like, obviously there's problems with them jumping straight from babies to Mega in one day.
Oh, that was
But
extremely fast.
we can accept that in certain circumstances. I.e., it's really the kids who are the power points. That's fine. I'll accept that. That's okay. What my primary issue with this is somewhat that the kids make bad decisions, but it's mostly power levels by narrative convenience. And that's really bothered me the entire time, because I don't think it was ever necessary, but it was done multiple times. And my two key examples of this are that Plotmon can stop a Machine Dramon in its tracks. That's ridiculous. The kids at this level, the baby Digimon at this level, were adults?
They're child Digimon, so rookie.
So the rookie Digimon, usually, if they would fire something, it would bounce off a Kabuterimon, the other red beetle.
Kuwagamon.
It would bounce off a Kuwagamon's face, and it would ignore them. And that's always how, like, one level up is. One level up should just totally ignore them. The Dark Masters are all Mega levels, aren't they?
Yes.
So they're 3 levels higher than these babies? These
and also
children?
more experience. Like, when we first saw the Dark Masters in Digimon Adventure, there was just one episode of the Dark Masters.
Well, these ones aren't as experienced.
Individually, yeah, but they were individually showing up and just obliterating them.
Obliterating them when they could evolve. Now, Plotmon can stop it in its tracks, and even worse, Gabumon by himself...
He knocked out Metal Seedramon.
He knocked out Metal Seedramon, and he can stop one of Seedramon's blasts by himself.
Yes.
It's completely insane. And there are multiple times in the episode where... So what they did was... I think they did a great job of showing you Machinamon's really big, he's really strong, and he's the scary god beast.
Yes.
And then they show him about to fire his laser, and they get this really good feeling of, oh my god, how are the kids going to get out of this? And that's the feeling you want to build tension.
Yeah.
And the problem is the writers didn't know what to do from there, and they just said, well, I guess they got out of it.
I arguably liked the distortion happening because we saw Megamon freaking out.
That only happened once, though.
Yes, but then the other times just like, oh, Blue Blaster happens and saves Sora.
No,
one
of them, it just went through, and they just they had moved, even though they were in the blast, clearly.
No, I kind of felt a little bit lazy, yeah.
Yeah, but it's a few times, and it's very clear that they couldn't figure out how to write around it, even though it seems obvious. So they just said, screw it, they just get away, or the child Digimon can just beat them, because they're Dark Masters. What are they meant to be, scary or something? And it totally undermines the Dark Masters to a terrible degree, because they're so well animated, and like I think in the beginning prologue thing, they do a great job of showing how scary they're meant to be when they're all together, which is something you like never really see. And I think they do a great job showing how scary they're meant to be until Agumon walks in and can just wave Metal Digimon off.
Okay,
it's fine.
How about
the scariest thing in that fight is water.
But sorry, I'm just going to interrupt for a second. What? No, it's related. So Jedi was just like a hologram on top of. Ken was a hologram on top of Jedi, right?
Yes.
Just an illusion sort of thing. What if it's the same thing for these Dark Masters, because they're really comparatively weak?
Yeah, I got the sense they might not be real. That was the only thing they could imagine. There's trickery going on.
Or they're weaker in some way. They had those weird red glowing eyes, which I've never seen.
I would find it really hard to buy into the idea that they would show you, okay, it takes God Beasts to beat them. It takes 4 God Beasts together to beat the Dark Masters, right? And then you see them now, and they're real, and now they're dead, right? And that was it. If that was what it was, I would find that really concerning and confusing.
I feel like it's another plan by Yggdrasil and Jedi.
Okay, also, what is Yggdrasil? We don't even know, right? Is this the first time they've been mentioned?
It was in X Evolution.
What?
It's like this big, evil god, I think.
What?
It was also in Digimon World 2003, but it's never been mentioned in Adventure, except for in Digimon Adventure 2003's case, it usually has something to do with the Royal Knights.
Okay.
I think it's like...
So I think it might be related to that, because there are Royal Knights in this.
Well, there are 2 of them that we've seen.
I thought there were 3.
Who was the other one?
Jesmon.
Omnimon,
Alphamon.
Okay, this Omegamon isn't necessarily a Holy Knight.
He is! Look at him!
I know, he is a Holy Knight, but he's not...
Royal Knight?
Well, yeah, Royal Knight.
Holy Knight.
Shut up. So, he is a Royal Knight, but in the same way, he's not part of the Royal Knights.
Well, the Royal Knights don't exist.
But they're okay, good point.
But they might.
Good point. I'm saying they
well,
might.
What if they do?
Because Yggdrasil's there. So I think they might be Yggdrasil? I can never decide how
it's the Tree of Life.
Yeah. And I'm excited to see what happens there.
What if all of these 3D animation things in the evolutions is foreshadowing them just taking the model from X Evolution and sticking it into Tri? Look, it's Yggdrasil, just like you always wanted.
Do we at least get Doraemon?
What?
Do we at least get Doraemon?
Which one's that?
The purple dog in X Evolution.
No.
Actually.
What?
Alphamon's in it. Maybe we do get Doraemon.
I guess maybe.
Doraemon's evolves to Alphamon.
I assume it's just Alphamon then.
Yay, Alphamon! Yay! We still don't know what his alignment is, but assuming
he's evil.
He's fighting with Jesumon, who says he's, working with homeostasis.
Yeah.
So, good guy, right?
Yeah, and it implies also then that Mekumon is actually good, can be used for good.
When Mekumon gets upset, it causes disruptions and infection.
Big perps.
Just don't get Mekumon upset. It's sort of the way of you won't like me when I'm angry, sort of thing.
You wouldn't like Mekumon when she's emotional.
Yeah, she'll kill your pet.
It's gonna be emotional!
She'll kill your lion friend. As for another...
Who's not dead anymore.
Do you have any more negatives?
Leon's back.
Yeah, because he died in the real world, but he was rebooted.
So is Wizardmon.
So is Wizardmon. So is Vandemon.
Yay! Devimon would be back somewhere.
Oh my gosh! What if Jedi's just Vandemon?
I want that now. I want that so bad.
And Popmon's
I need it.
I know that. Wait, no, she wouldn't
That
know
would
the
make
voice.
any sense, though.
She wouldn't know the voice, that's right.
But it wouldn't make any sense because Vandemon would have only just rebooted and Genai was around the whole time. Genai was not someone who came out of the reboot. But Vandemon could come back.
I'm trying to think. What? Time travel?
No, no.
I don't know. Does time travel exist in Digimon?
It doesn't seem to have ever existed so far.
What if it's Ryo?
Okay, I'd accept that.
You're just coming back and like, I'm
Wait,
so annoyed.
Oh, wait, no, he's in the Tamers universe.
Yeah?
He's
What
elsewhere.
if he came back?
Nah. I would be interested to see the big Venn diagram of like what the universes were and where they overlapped, because they all seem to have some.
Oh yeah, they overlap sometimes. Also, Willis, maybe?
Ah!
Okay, so there was the point where like, okay, who is the Digimon Kaiser? It can't be Ken.
It was Willis!
And then we're like, okay, maybe it's Ken. And then we said, maybe it's not Ken. Who is it? And then, yeah.
It's like, so it's the final boss battle, and Genai's there, and he's got like all the Dark Masters, the real ones around him.
Yeah.
And there's like Vandemon and Devimon and Edamon in the background, and then he like rips off his face, and it's Willis, and he goes, "Welcome to the summer memory!"
Oh my gosh. And Diaboromon's there, and it's like his pet. He's like stroking Diaboromon's face.
And he's
With
giving him
Diaboromon.
pizza.
And he's like, no, that's our Pokemon. God damn it, Jay.
I thought that's what you were talking about.
I said Diaboromon.
Okay, fine, a Pokemon's there, and he's giving him pizza crust, and Pokemon's like, "I want the pizza!"
Okay, I want to point out that I said that Willis would be stroking Diaboromon because in the dub he had a relationship with Diaboromon, but in the original it wasn't. So that's the only reason I said it. But also,
And Diaboromon's like, "Dad?"
Daddy, and Willis is like, yikes. But a Pokemon's just eating the pizza and giving Willis the crusts.
No, the other way around.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah. So I just like to think it's an evil clone. Maybe it's Eugen.
It so could be because of this cross media. Like, it could be cross media because they are at the same time, but it's obviously infinitely unlikely.
I'd pop.
A little bit.
I'd pop.
I would go, yeah, what?
Also, there are two Hackmon. Because originally I originally thought that Hackmon, as in Tri Hackmon, was written as Hackmon.
No, they're Hackmon. They're both Hackmon.
They both have cute little capes.
Also, maybe this Hackmon is wearing Daigo's goggles.
Yeah, so that was what I thought when we saw Hackmon. I mean, I know Hackmon has the goggles, but maybe they look like Daigo's goggles, which we saw. Also, it's really annoying. This is a negative, alright? Why wasn't Maki the goggle kid?
Does she need to be?
Yes.
Why?
Because that would, like, be such a good corruption of, she was the leader. She was the one always in charge. She was the first one to evolve. She was always the important one. She was like, okay, team, we're going this way now. And, you know, I have the strongest Digimon because we have the strongest bond because I'm the leader. And then all her friends become holy beasts. Like, her friends' Digimon become holy beasts.
That story
Dies.
still totally applies without her being the goggle kid.
I know, but what if she was?
But no.
I mean, I know Daigo was.
You can't have the first female goggle kid be that one. The one you don't get to see. That sucks.
Because, honestly, like,
No, they're meant to be a traditional team, and she's like the Mimi of the group who's gone crazy. That's so much more interesting.
I should have paused and looked at what the other kids looked like.
You couldn't really see them.
Oh, okay.
They're tiny in the distance.
Because I know in the original, we just got silhouettes of Digimon Adventure characters with their Digimon because, like, laziness a little bit.
Yeah, pretty much.
And we had Sora and Yamato and Koshiro and Taichi.
Yeah.
And that was the team.
Good work.
More negatives, so...
Is that... No, that doesn't make sense, because she looks like Kari.
What?
Kari wasn't in that silhouette.
Yeah, because, you know...
If she was, it would have been accurate.
Sora arguably has the same length of hair.
Yeah.
So, more negatives. I thought that Mimi arriving at Shogun Gekumon's temple would have anything to do with anything.
Well, it's not a bad thing.
Look, because, I mean, I like it was a callback.
You wish there was more.
No, I'm not saying, like, necessarily that what I thought was going to happen was she retconned what happened in Digimon Adventure. I thought, because when she arrives there, she says, but why did I show up here?
Yeah.
That was the only scene of the temple we got. We didn't even get any passing, like, Geckomon, and she says, Geckomon! And they just look at her and say, who are you? Because she was Princess Mimi to these Geckomon.
I think it's a passing reference. I think it's a cute thing that makes you go, oh, maybe they fixed it, and that's the end of it.
I know, but I would have liked it if they mentioned.
I know. It can't all be the way it happened in your dreams.
Another negative is that Tentomon evolving after Pyomon and Patamon both reach their ultimate forms, potentially for the first time.
Oh, there were so many evolutions. It's such a waste of time.
Also, I feel like Tentomon evolving detracted from the new evolutions. Because he was just kind of like...
I agree.
Because Koshiro said, you too, Tentomon. And, alright, I guess we have this evolution that we already got in the last scene. Why? I feel like, why couldn't it be... And Mimi even says, why couldn't Palmon evolve too? Why not Joe? Why is it only, Koshiro and Tentomon?
Because he's special, and he gets to have more.
Yeah, I just feel like it honestly detracted away from the new evolutions because, and in some way, I feel like the trigger of evolution for Patamon and Koshiro was just kind of like nothing. It was just kind of like Patamon said, "I want to fight. You do too, Takaru, right?" And they're like, "Yeah, let's evolve."
Yeah, let's go.
Then Koshiro just said, "Tentomon evolve," and Tentomon was like, "All right."
I mean, like in kayfabe, right?
Yeah.
In the reality of this, have as many of them evolve as you can.
Yeah.
Have everyone go in.
Yeah.
You have a Dark Master to kill. That makes perfect sense. From a narrative perspective, he's stoppable by a Plotmon and a Agumon. You don't need more than one.
Yeah.
Having 2 is fine. Having 3 is a waste of evolution time.
Well, we also had Yamato and Taichi, and I guess they had that moment as well of like, why did I come back? I came back to be with you and rescue you and find you again. That was arguably fine. And then there was Sora's, which was kind of like, okay, it's a bit of a jump, and that's fine. And Patamon was kind of like, okay, if this happened in the last movie, I would have understood because they both had growth. There was no focus on Patamon and Takaru at all in this movie. He basically he looks at Tokemon's eyes and he says, "You're not infected anymore." And Tokomon says, "What's an infection?" That's their interaction.
I like to think that the Hercules Kabuterimon thing was over. What happened was that was not initially in their first draft of this movie. Instead, what was there was Seraphimon shows up and goes, "I brought you the Digi-Egg of Miracles!"
Oh my gosh.
And they had to put this over that. Like, oh, no, that's not happening. That's not real.
Oh my gosh, though. Maybe they went to the summer memory.
Here's your Digi-Egg of Destiny.
My other negative was when Mekumon is attacking Mako. I feel like this is kind of like a weird scene.
It was just to show you that Megumon's pretty unbalanced.
Yeah, and I got that, but it just feels like kind of random and out of the blue, where she's like, "I'm attacking you now. I was sad and looking for you everywhere, but now I'm attacking you." And also,
she's unhinged.
And Mako's walking towards her, not getting hit by the blasts or anything.
Yeah, she's not very accurate.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it was a good, warming moment between them, but at the same time, I'm just kind of like, I get that we're showing that Mekumon is unbalanced and unstable and stuff, but why are we getting that?
The funsies.
I just feel like it was time they could have used elsewhere. They could have had a smaller scene. Also, when she evolved and nothing became of it. Like when she evolved in the trolley car.
Yeah, I think it's just setting up that she's unhinged.
Yeah, it is to set up she's unhinged, but then she de-evolves to Mekumon, and then she's kind of like a werewolf.
Woo!
Woo! How that moon.
She evolves when there's a full sad.
Yeah, and that's her thing, right?
I'm Mekumon and I am cross at the moon.
I am cross at the May. And yeah, I mean, I know at the same time, yes, it's showing us that she's unstable and easily upset. And that's fine because it foreshadows the end, but I just felt like it was a bit random and I don't know, I just feel like it didn't fit the mood. It was strange.
I generally agree.
And it's good, and I generally am happy that you agree.
Yay!
Yay! Other thoughts?
No.
I have other thoughts. I love the animation.
It's good animation.
And it really showed... Because remember in Digimon Adventure, we kept on saying, look at this animation error.
That's bad.
Koshiro's floating. Those characters are just static in the distance. Those characters are floating in the distance. Those characters aren't coloured properly. And then we come to the hyper-detailed Tri, where when, Agumon evolved to Wargreymon, it was just there is so much detail on him.
There's a lot of stuff going on.
And Mugenjimon just looks amazing.
They did a really great job of getting you to sort of understand how heavy he was, and sort of what it would be like to be nearby when he's going to go blow up the world. And
we both said this at different parts when we were watching, but there were so many, perfect wallpaper moments in all of them. They were just so pretty.
Yeah, they were. I wouldn't be shocked if you went back and screenshot
it. I intend to.
I'm
glad that we don't have a screenshot of the week for our special episodes, because it would be the whole movie. Because there were just so many cute bits, so many funny bits, so many bits that were just beautiful to look at. And I know we don't often focus on the animation of Digimon. Sometimes we laugh at it and says, look how bad it is, it's awkward, they float. They just sort of move the cell slightly on the background. As you said, Saint Galgamon just kind of moves. But in this, it was, you can see that they've come a long way. They don't have the same budget that they used to. I mean, I feel like I'm personally funding them.
You are. You're. Every time you buy something, like, great, we can add another 2 minutes of film to this.
Yeah, like I buy the
You're
PC
the reason
Agumon.
there's a special 7th episode.
Yeah, and we'll get to that, but it's a rumor. Like I haven't seen anything official, but we'll talk to that in the bit where we talk about the next bits of Tri. So, any other thoughts? Because I'm just really like rapt about the animation. Like
I'm done talking about this.
Overall thoughts. What do you think about this?
It was good. It wasn't the best. Like, it had a great opening, and then it kind of fell down because of it couldn't keep itself consistent. But it's still really good.
I feel like the first part is at least the best part, like as in episode of Tri so far.
I think 3 overall was better.
I know, I'm not just saying it as a single part. Like, as a single 20-minute, like, thing, I feel like it's the most I've enjoyed one single part.
I've had to talk to you about this already, which is that I don't... Especially because I know your favourite thing is this opening bit, which the wording you used off camera was, it is the best thing Digimon has ever done.
Okay, I mean, that's...
But at the same time, it doesn't mean anything unless you've seen all of Digimon before it.
Yeah, especially, like, the movies of Tri, and you'd have to know the characters. That's why I downgraded it to... From being, this is the best bit of Digimon on the whole, to the best bit of Tri.
Because that makes it, like, the punchline of a good joke. But honestly, even within the context of Tri, if you've only watched Tri, this is meaningless.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
If you have not seen any... If you didn't see... Honestly, I think even if you didn't see... you have to watch Tamers as well.
Yeah.
But if you didn't watch all 3 seasons prior to this, I don't think you need Frontier probably, but if you didn't watch those 3 seasons, that scene would have made no sense.
And you would only know... And even if you just saw Digimon Adventure, you wouldn't know who the Holy Beasts are. They were not mentioned in Digimon Adventure.
Yeah, not in the original one at all.
They were mentioned in the novels. They were mentioned in 02. They weren't mentioned in the original Season 1 Digimon Adventure. Unless I'm forgetting something.
Pretty sure they're not.
And, yeah, the novels fixed a lot of things and brought them into, actually, the canon of it. But never actually mentioned. So you're right. If you just watched Digimon Adventure and then didn't get into 02 for whatever reason, you would watch Tri. You would recognise the characters. But, yeah, you're right. This part would not mean anything to you. But for my own personal, like, ranking, I feel like this is probably the most enjoyable bit of Digimon that I've seen.
I like the bit in Atmon with the cameras.
Yeah, that was good. I'm just saying that, like... It's that's why I said one of the best bits of Digimon that I've ever seen personally.
Sure.
I feel like the way I reacted to it, I was popping,
Yeah, I know you liked it.
This is the way you should start, a movie or an episode. You want to get them hype. And you know what? I got hype. And the sort of like silent movie thing, Ace Spades.
No, you should start
Spades,
it with like a 10-minute philosophical diatribe that is totally meaningless.
Yeah, I still don't know about the first. I guess it'll all become clear at the end.
It probably won't. I bet they forgot about it.
I hope they... Look, I have faith in these writers, okay?
I bet they forgot.
I have so much faith in these writers.
Maybe that's too much. Maybe you shouldn't.
If we're talking about the entire of Chapter 4 compared to the other Tri chapters, I feel like 3 ended better. I don't think I like the ending of Chapter 4.
Because of the cliffhanger.
No, they've all ended on cliffhangers.
All right.
Except Chapter 1.
Yeah, Chapter 1 was like, well, we're done.
Yeah, Chapter 1 was very sort of... You could almost watch this standalone.
Yeah.
Chapter 2 was just like...
In which nothing happens.
Chapter 2, the ending with... Oh, Leomon died. That was just kind of like... Chapter 3 ended with... It's Geni.
Yeah.
Good ending. That's how you end something with a cliffhanger. But don't make people feel like not complete.
So what you do, what the difference is, it's not, oh no, what's going to happen next? I need to know that. It's, I can't believe that just happened. Now I want to know what happened next.
Yeah, because Chapter 3 was very... Like, they just said, oh, they failed. Digital World's rebooted.
Yep.
They meet their partners again, the partner's scared of them.
Yep.
Then we see Maki and Geni on the hill. Then we see Digimon Kaiser and Maki on the hill. And we find out that it's Geni. What
is happening with the 02 kids?
I feel like we'll know one day.
They're dead.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then but the ending of...
I want
Yeah?
Like, I kind of want it to be as terrible and bad as possible at the end, so I can complain. I want, like, whoever this Geni person turns out to truly be, I want him to be like, we needed to get rid of them because they had the power of armor evolution, and then they all just, like, glance over at TK and Kari, and they shrug.
Well, they have their D3s, so we at least know that, like...
They could do it. They just choose not to.
Why haven't they? They haven't even addressed Armor Evolution.
Because they're bad.
Yeah, that
Armor
too.
Evolution was a thing to get past the Dark Towers, and that was all it was.
Armor evolution doesn't require any emotion to your Digimon, right?
I don't
You can
know.
just sort of, or any activation basically. As soon as you have the Digimentals in your Digivice, you can use it.
I have no idea.
Why didn't they say, okay, why didn't Takeru and Hikari say, look, we can't evolve, but we have these Digimentals, which are armor and make you stronger?
It would be smart, I guess, and that's why they didn't do it.
I feel like they've just, happily forgotten about that. So, I don't think I like the ending of Chapter 4. It didn't make me feel complete. I want to know what happens next, but I didn't feel like the way I did at the end of Chapter 3, that's how you do a cliffhanger.
I think the cliffhanger's fine, but I think if the emotion you're having is, oh, I guess Meikumon's evil again, and because you've already had it, and then she seemed to recover, and now she's unrecovered, and it's not consistent, and you're like, oh, I don't know how I'm meant to feel. Is she going to be fine in 2 seconds from now?
Maybe. I mean, probably she lives. I don't think she dies in this.
Well, she's not in the epilogue.
Yeah.
And she's a cat, they're prone to dying.
Oh no, but they have 9 lives.
That's true.
What about this chapter compared to all of Digimon that we've seen?
It's pretty good.
Better than Frontier.
It does, it calls into question the power levels so bad, and I always thought power levels were a problem in Digimon, where they're just totally inconsistent, they can't figure it out. But this is the most disgusting abuse of them I've ever seen in my life. As a story goes, it's great.
Yeah.
And that's fine, but, I just can't bring myself to be like, yeah, it's totally fine that Machine Dramon's blast can be knocked aside by Gabumon, whose blast can't even, singe something slightly higher than itself.
Yeah. Compared to other bits,
Does Machine Dramon not look like it should have come out of Metal Greymon?
it does. It does in the Pendulum.
Oh,
It is
cool.
a possible evolution
I'm smart.
path.
Promise.
And also, I think Andromon also can evolve to Megandramon.
That makes sense.
And Megadramon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
But, what about compared to Atmon, which is also the current running?
Atmon's great.
Atmon's so good.
Don't talk down to Atmon. Atmon's great.
No, I'm putting Tri and Atmon, near the top of
Yeah.
my
Oh,
enjoyable
for
series
sure.
of Digimon. Up there with Savers and Tamers.
Yeah, well, Savers and Tamers are definitely lower than those two.
Yeah.
Take that, Savers. Haven't even seen you yet. Getting trounced.
I think they're better. Yeah, I think they're better than Savers, but I feel like they're the best series of the original ones. Now we're going to be talking about Chapter 5, and sort of onwards to Chapter 5. Now we're going to be, the name of Chapter 5 has been released, as has the poster. Possibly, it could also have been faked, but we don't know. But,
Probably not.
Yeah, it's probably not. We've never had a
Who
fake
would
one.
have put fall down mode on there? Who?
Okay, so I guess straight into the spoilers. So yeah, hopefully if that meant anything to you, I hope we didn't spoil it to you. But basically,
You already said we were talking about it.
yeah, if you don't want to be spoiled, we're going to be discussing it all through this segment, including our theories. So if you don't want to be spoiled, probably move on to the outro part, because this is our last segment, I believe. So yeah, move to the next segment, and we're going to be talking about spoilers. So Chapter 5 has been revealed, unless it's fake. It's probably not, but I'm just saying, no one could actually find the actual 100% source. It's just been no one or anonymous, and that's just what I've seen so far. So first of all, Chapter 5 is called Union or Symbiosis.
Here's a question. What have all the names of the episodes been the movies?
First one, Reunion.
Yeah.
Then, no, not Confessions, the third one. What's the second one? Sakai, I forgot what that meant.
Okay, so it's not maybe what I thought, but it'd be weird if we had Reunion and then Union, wouldn't it? So it's probably Symbiosis.
Yeah.
I think it'd be funny if it was Symbiosis and the sixth one was called Homeostasis.
That's funny,
cool.
no, that's good.
But yeah, so that's a hell of a name. It's probably not Union. It's dumb. We get a poster, and yeah, maybe it's not legit. It probably is, though. It's in the right style. And
Chapter 2 was Determination.
Yeah, it's fine. No one would ever have drawn this thing the way it is.
So, the poster is Meiko, Meikomon's, I believe, ultimate evolution, Hikari, and possibly a Fanimon fall down mode. Not
That's
a Fanimon.
the dumbest name ever.
Yeah, it's sort of like Lucifer fell down, become,
That's dumb.
So it's possibly something evil happens to them?
You think, oh my god, what if the ultimate bad guy is, what's it called? It starts with a D. The thing from the Dark Ocean.
Demon.
No, the thing from the Dark Ocean.
Demon.
No, the thing from the Dark Ocean.
Oh, Daigomon.
Yeah.
Because Demon goes to the Dark Ocean.
No, Dagomon is the bad guy and walks
Possibly.
in and is like, I'm a big tentacle monster.
I'm Cthulhu, I guess. So, the reason I believe it's fall down mode is because a
big scythe.
Fanimon has a lance, and fall down mode has a scythe.
No, it looks exactly like the fall down.
Yeah.
It's fine.
So,
You tried to convince me for 15 minutes. When after minute 1, I was like, yeah, you're right.
I was very excited after I fell down myself and I became May fall down mode because I saw a Fanimon. And before I recognised that there was a scythe, I was just like, I'm done. Because
I had won.
And I previously mentioned, in the last episode that we recorded last night, oh, well, it's in the CSA Digivice, it says Holydramon, and in the Tri collector cards, they say Holydramon. So that's for two reasons.
You know what would make lots of sense?
What?
If you have Ophanimon fall down mode, and you're like, oh no, Ophanimon's fallen. Oh, she got better. What'd she become? She became a Holydramon. Not Ophanimon normal. She became something totally different.
Yeah. So
that would mean this would would this be the only time ever that a Digimon has shown up and had a mode and nothing else? What if it was an Imperialdramon Paladin mode and they're like, what does that mean?
Yeah. Or if Skull Greymon was actually his perfect level?
No, not that.
Agumon's
I mean,
perfect?
no, it's you add at the end of it X mode.
Oh, yeah.
So it was like Paladin mode. And they're like, why do you keep saying Paladin mode? It's like, that's my name.
Yeah, it's why Paildramon became Imperialdramon, but it's actually Imperialdramon Dragon mode, but they didn't say Dragon mode until after he first mode changed.
No, but like then there is a different one, so that's fine. But if he just said Dragon mode and left it at that, wouldn't they all be like, what does that mean? Come on.
So my theories are that Hikari is affected by the darkness again, and as is Mako, and their Digimon Dark evolved to their ultimate stages. And maybe maybe they go the Dark Ocean again. Can this be the when they finally explain the Dark Ocean?
Nah, they're never coming back to it.
But they said, we'll come back to you, Hikari.
Dark Ocean never coming back, lol.
I trust the writers to want to fill in all the holes that all of Adventure left.
I'd like that.
I would totally like that. That would fix all of Adventure, and the novels fixed Adventure as in Season 1, and I want them to fix 02 with the whole Dark Ocean, which was probably the best part in 02, except for the Demon Corps, which, by the way... Core, which I still can't say probably, by the way, still ended with the Dark Ocean.
It's true, they should be in there somewhere. Never got rebooted, so they're gone.
Yes, but the Dark Ocean's not the digital world.
Oh!
We explicitly know that it's not. It probably is. It's like parallel to the digital world, but it's not the digital world.
Yeah, if you reboot it though, it's probably in the internet.
I just want them to explain.
They've got Digimon in it.
Another way that this has gone is that Tailmon only evolved to Holydramon before the reboot because she wasn't pure.
As a result of trauma.
Ophanimon is pure. She's an angel.
Pure.
But Tailmon has a dark past. She's sinned. She's like, she's done some bad stuff. She was on the side of evil. She's also has trauma.
Yeah.
So she's a bit sullied in the way that she can't become a Fanimon.
That's why she becomes Angelmon and not something else.
Yeah, I'm just saying that if we think about that, what if she only becomes Holydramon before the reboot because of all the trauma she's had, and now the reboot's happened, she hasn't had that darkness and that trauma, and her entire past with Vandemon, and now she has a different evolution path.
Could be.
Which is something I actually mentioned to you when we were watching. I was like, what if they evolve differently now?
And I was like, probably won't.
What if, Taichi says, okay, Agumon evolve, and Agumon's like, Agumon Shinka, Tyrannomon.
He's like, what the hell is that?
And Tentomon Shinka, Kuwagumon.
What the hell is that?
That would be cool.
Yeah, but they didn't do it.
Because
they did
have Holydramon in the promotional material, so this could have gone one of two ways. One...
Wait, when?
Promotional material as in the Digimon cards.
I thought you meant the poster.
As in the Digimon Tri cards.
I don't care about those.
They used the Holydramon image, so that's why everyone said, oh yeah, Holydramon is canon.
They changed their mind.
They didn't CSA. So either, they changed their mind because, we don't like the way this is going. Or it's by different people and they weren't related to the script writers at all.
Could be.
And they just said, Holydramon. We've seen her evolve before.
Yep.
Let's do Holydramon. Unless it was 100% pre-reboot, right?
Pre-boot.
Do you have any theories?
No.
So, thanks for listening, guys. I hope that was enjoyable. It was just sort of like a quick dive into Chapter 4. And thank you for listening, and we really hope that you enjoyed this. My theory was right. Well, half right, sort of. I'm taking this as a victory.
And join us for the next movie of X Evolution, Simba Union.
No. The link dump is linked in the description. And you can't find our screenshots of the week or weekly wonders because we don't do them for this. But if I did have a screenshot of the week, it'd be the entire episode, the entire movie. You can follow us on @TranslationMon on Twitter, and you can find us on Lost in Translation on Tumblr, Facebook, and YouTube. We have a discussion thread on With the Will, and a Reddit thread in the Digimon subreddit. And we'd really appreciate if you were to review us on iTunes and or Stitcher, because we want people to listen to us. And if we're highly rated, more people will find us, more people will listen to us. And also, if we're more highly rated, people will just listen to us in general, because no one wants to listen to something that isn't rated.
Also, we'll feel better as people.
Yeah, we'll also feel better as people, and we'll read it out, and we'll cry with tears. Happy tears.
You might.
I will. We now also have a website, and you should vote in our weekly poll, where we are talking about the best human spirits in Digimon Frontier, out of the 10.
And thank you to our Patreon supporters, Sam Krieger, who hosts a podcast called The Moncast, which talks about Pokemon and Digimon, Stevie, who's also Stevie on YouTube, and you can find the link in the description, Wuchinglong, who you can find at twitch.tv/Wuchinglong, Metal Mamimon, Joe, Anime Guy, who is Anime Guy Kurosaki and the number 1 on YouTube, Chuckmon, Ishbal Bamba, Hiro Walada, who is at Hiro Walada on Twitter, Jason Morosky, Ryuchi, who is Frost Magic on Archive of Our Own, Stephen Reeves, who is at WildWing64 on Twitter, Kaida Washi, Mac, Noam, Riku, Red and Garen from Breakfast with Digimon, which is another Digimon podcast, which you can find on SoundCloud, Shisai, who you can follow at Shisai236 on Tumblr, Corey, Kyle, The Lady Bugman, whose anime blog you can read at bagubaragu.wordpress.com, Smart Wolfie, Lupin, and Tom.
You can also make a one-off donation on our PayPal, which we found linked in the description. It's paypal.me/Agumon. Make sure to let us know it's for the podcast. And we'll see you guys next time. And so probably for our Agumon episode coming out tomorrow, or the day after, depending on how quickly we edit. See you guys. Bye.
Bye.